The following is brought to you by CentrePointe Counseling, providing licensed Christian counselors to Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Emily Leibelsberger and Aaron Stein are licensed professional counselors, bringing you practical tools and techniques for coping with emotions during COVID-19. The following is not intended to replace therapy. To learn more about CentrePointe Counseling and available counseling services, visit www.hopethatheals.org. Hi, I'm Emily Leibelsberger. With me today is Aaron Stein. How you doing, Aaron?
Hi, Emily.
Hi. So today's topic is denial. Denial is one of the stages of grief that one may experience when dealing with a loss that has happened, or maybe a loss that we're in the midst of, or a loss that we're expecting. Aaron, what is denial?
Well, denial is, it kind of gets a bad rap, denial. It's one of those emotions and feelings that we assume as people kind of bowing out or choosing not to admit reality. But in a lot of ways, it's just when we're experiencing shock and we're
Yeah,
kind of overwhelmed. And so
we
we
just
kind
don't
of put
believe it.
on,
Yeah,
yeah, we can't believe it. We kind of put on the
yeah.
pause button. I always give the
Mhm.
example with people when talking about denial that it's like getting a phone call hearing your grandmother passed away. You know it's true, but it's just hard to kind of wrap your mind around it. And
Mhm.
sometimes until you actually see her at the funeral, you almost don't believe it. So you kind of go through
Yeah.
this period of a false idea or not really accepting reality.
Right. So in COVID-19, when, a lot of us, we heard there's a pandemic, I can definitely say for myself that I was in a little bit of denial, because up until then, I really hadn't heard that much about the coronavirus and what it was doing to people. And so there was definitely like, that's not really happening. It's really not a pandemic. It's not that big of a deal. And just sort of shut it out of my mind. I wasn't believing it. And I think that, that's a stage for a lot of folks that kind of intermittently comes and goes. This isn't a big deal. It's just all hype. It's just media sensationalism. And then, oh, wait, it is a big deal. Someone I know has tested positive. So it kind of flickers in and out a little bit. So Aaron, what
Yeah.
what can we do if maybe, we're experiencing denial, or maybe what's even more frustrating is when I'm not in denial, but maybe a loved one is, maybe a family member or close friend is in denial about COVID-19. What can I do
Yeah.
about that?
I think we have to kind of take kind of responsibility for ourselves. We can't really tell other people how to feel in this whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is everyone's on different planes and different timelines. But I
Hmm.
think that denial, we can kind of use denial sometimes to our advantage because denial kind of puts us in the moment. I can't
Yeah.
just live in a constant state of panic that there is a virus out there that could affect my family. I still have to take care of my family and do my job. And
Hmm.
so it kind of keeps us in the present, kind of helps us kind of balance where we're at.
And we
Um,
can empathize with people for when we feel like someone else is in denial, empathizing with them. Yeah, I know. It's really hard to think about how big this really is getting, and just empathize with that. They're doing the best they can. We're all doing the best we can in this
yeah.
situation.
Don't think we can convince anyone of anything. I think,
Mm-mm.
we only can, do what's right for us. And so
Mhm.
accepting what we know to be true and doing what we feel comfortable with, but kind of pacing ourselves. I think denial paces the grief that we're all feeling in this time. And there's
Mhm.
moments where I'm in denial and there's moments I'm acutely aware of the situation. It just depends on the moment and the day and what's going on in that circumstance.
Yeah, and finding a middle ground between denying that it's happening, and the other extreme would be thinking the worst case scenario all the time. And so I'm a big advocate of finding the middle ground where we can acknowledge what's happening, and only take care of what we can take care of. And we'll talk about that in a few segments when we talk about acceptance.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining in today. Really enjoyed sharing this time with you all. We look forward to our next segment on the stages of grief in COVID-19. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation brought to you by CentrePointe Counseling. CentrePointe Counseling offers a mercy grant program called the Samaritan Fund, helping people access care from our counselors. This program is made possible by donations from supporters like you. To learn more about CentrePointe Counseling and the Samaritan Fund, please visit us at www.hopethatheals.org.